BarrelUp podcast was here.
Caballeros, estoy con nada más y nada menos que el rey de hit, Luis Colono. Muchas gracias por darme la oportunidad.
BarrelUp podcast was here.
Tenemos un gran contenido con un pilar de béisbol, Domingo Leiva, segunda base de las grandes ligas de Arizona Diamondbacks. Mi hermano, ¿cómo te sientes?
Tranquilo, manito, gracias a Dios.
BarrelUp podcast was here.
Ese es mi compañero Darryl. Bienvenido a BarrelUp Podcast. Gracias por
BarrelUp podcast was here.
mi hermano Willy Adames.
¿Qué lo que, brother? ¿Qué lo que?
Dime a ver, bro.
Todo bien, ¿y tú cómo tú estás?
BarrelUp podcast was here. We were here. You need to be here. History was made tonight. Where were you? It's been a pleasure.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another edition of BarrelUp Podcast. This is your host, John Carlos. I got my boys Brando Cruz and Darryl, the Guru, for another live edition, another show, episode 38. We are almost at the cusp of 40 episodes, already past 353 subscribers. Thank you guys for all the support. Thank you for the generosity and for being with us for all this time.
Definitely appreciate it, guys. Keep subscribing. Keep tuning in.
Help us get to 1,000 subscribers so that we can accomplish one goal that we all have. And like we always say, it's always a blessing to give you guys the shows and the content that we do every week. Keep on subscribing to the YouTube channel BarrelUp Podcast on YouTube. Follow us on Instagram BarrelUp_baseball and on Twitter BarrelUp Podcast/baseball. As we give you content every week. Haven't been with these guys for a while, the whole trio, but we're back. We were just in Texas covering the World Series. It was an amazing experience. Go back and check that episode out. We got the live feel, with the fans, talking with the fans, seeing, what their predictions were. It was a very, very dope experience. I would do that shit in a heartbeat again.
Definitely. 2021, we might, hopefully the Mets are in it, but me as a Mets fan.
Oh, talking about the Mets, there's a lot of interesting news to dive into, but we're going to start this episode with something very, 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 very interesting. It might spur some controversy. Let's say 4 or 5, maybe 6 episodes ago, we were talking about the cheating Astros, right? The Astros, how they cheated. They were caught cheating in many ways and stuff, and a lot of people got reprimanded for such acts. We're talking about Cora, Aj Hinch, the manager at that time for the Houston Astros, right? Carlos Beltran, who was a player in that team. Mm-hmm. All those players, all those people, they got reprimanded with 1-year bans. One's got fired, one's resigned, and it was crazy. But now they're on different headlines. Darryl, let's dive in a little bit as to what's going on with Alex Cora as he gets his job back with the Red Sox. Aj Hinch goes to the Detroit Tigers as a manager. But Carlos Beltran doesn't get anything. Carlos Beltran, if you guys remember, was hired by the New York Mets to take on the managerial position, and now until this day, he's asked out. What's going on there, guys? Talk to me about that. What do you think? What are your thoughts?
With the Alex Cora and AJ Hinch hiring, I believe they shouldn't have not gotten into baseball as soon as they have. I feel like the suspension or the punishment should have been a couple of years more, or maybe not even let them be hired as managers. Maybe a bench coach position or something with an organization like front office. But hey, we don't know what's going on behind the scenes. I'm happy Alex Cora is back because the Red Sox did miss him this year. They have a good team, good young talent, good young players. So maybe Cora can do everything again that he did in 2018 and create a better nucleus and see what happens. AJ Hinch, I'm excited for him to be in Detroit because I think that team also is very young, up and coming, young talent, prospects. And I feel like they need somebody with experience that can mold the players for the future. So,
Darryl?
My boy AC is back. Woo!
Red Sox are back. We're back on the right track. The track we need to be.
Hashtag Red Sox Nation.
Where's the hat? Where's the hat? Where's the hat? Where is it? It's right here. Red Sox.
Red Sox
Let's go.
Nation.
Let's
So,
go.
like I was saying, Alex Cora is back. It's true we said, they've been out for a year. They probably should have gotten more, but I don't agree with that. I think if the players weren't punished at all, the guys who were actually committing the actual crime, I feel like the 1 year was sufficient enough. Alex Cora, he played a vital role in that situation. He owned up to his mistakes. He served his suspension. He's ready to move forward. He has a new head, and he's ready to go to work essentially. In terms of AJ Hinch, I think it's super appropriate that he's the Detroit Tigers GM.
Manager.
Yeah, I mean manager. It's a team that hasn't been relevant since their Verlander days. So I mean, to take that young franchise, like he said, and turn it around, I'm excited to see that aspect of it.
So the question still stands: why didn't Carlos Beltran get included in some team? There was a lot of teams there, this year that didn't do well, that deserved another chance to get a better manager, a person that knows the game. And if it's talking about like experience, right? Carlos Beltran has been in the league for 15 plus years, but it's not the same thing from a manager to a player. What do you guys say to that?
Well, for me, I mean, this offseason, there were only 3 available jobs, and literally I wouldn't say the 3 best, but the 2 best managers were hired in AJ Hinch and Alex Cora. The third one, we'll talk about in a little bit, but it's early in the offseason. Alex Cora still has to build his coaching staff. So does AJ Hinch. So we could see Carlos Beltran maybe come in for the Red Sox as a bench coach or some type of hitting coach. We don't know yet.
I have something to say. That just came up to my head. It's not even in the agenda for us to speak on today, but it's just something that needs to be talked about. In the history of the game, there's only been a handful of minority managers, if you think about it. Because I'm thinking about this whole Carlos Beltran situation, right? And how everything affects him in a negative way. Alex Cora, at the time that he was suspended or resigned from the job, he had already proven that he could win. He won with the Red Sox, he resigned, but he has some type of winning record.
Yes.
AJ Hinch as well, even though they cheated, he was in the forefront of that scandal. But Carlos Beltran doesn't get anything. I'm still a little attached to that subject, and it's because I believe that there's some bias into that. Major League Baseball, as far as I know, for the last 10 years, there's been some politics going around where they're trying to shift the game a certain way. And if you think about it, there's only a handful of minority managers in the league right now. We have Alex Cora, Puerto Rican, right? We have Dusty Baker. We have Dave Roberts. We have Miguel Rojas. That's it. Think about it. Who else?
Dave Martinez from the Nationals.
Dave Martinez, okay.
Dave Martinez.
There's one more. There has to be one more because there's 6 right now.
I'm thinking as you speak.
I think that plays some type of a role into why Carlos Beltran, Astro of baseball, Astro. When you talk about the word Astro, is somebody that knows what he's talking about, hitting coach, mentor.
Yes.
He should be in the game as these 2. This is just my way of seeing it. What I see is fair. And when you think about, I'm not here to talk about race or nothing like that, but you have, on the other hand, like we're going to introduce this topic. I'm going to let Darryl speak on it. Tony La Russa, a manager that's been scrutinized before by his own players, for quote-unquote being a racist. And there's no talks about that. There's no talks about, what repercussions we can do to that, to those people that, don't accept people for who they are, for the races or whatever. It's just something to talk about. And I think that Trevor Bauer makes a great point in everything he says. Let the kids play, let the players play. There's a lot of things that go on behind the scenes. Talking about Tony La Russa, my guy.
So this is an interesting, very, very interesting topic. It came to light about last week. Obviously the biggest news was the White Sox, who were looking for a manager, decided to go old school and hire Tony La Russa, Hall of Fame manager, Hall of Fame front office worker. It did not sit well with the players and members of the franchise in the front office. This hire was specifically made by the owner, Jerry Reinsdorf. And immediately, players were against it. Also, what came to light was that he was arrested in February of 2020.
Tony La Russa, a guy that had, I'm sorry to cut you off, but something to shed to light on. A guy that had like an impeccable record in the majors as a manager, as a guy in the clubhouse.
Hall of Fame manager.
I would never think that he would be, you know, doing such acts as driving drunk and stuff.
So yes, he was arrested. He was charged with a DUI. And the White Sox were fully aware of his situation before they hired him, and they still went forward and hired him. Then it came to light that he was arrested, and that he had a couple of things to say while he was being arrested, you know, and some of the terms were a little bit, you know, kind of
condescending.
Immediately, star shortstop for the White Sox, Tim Anderson, said that that this hire doesn't sit well with majority of the players, because the majority of the players on that team are minorities. Spanish players are black players. There's very little
In between?
Yeah. And Marcus Stroman also said that there's no amount of money in the world that they could give him that will make him play for a manager like Tony La Russa.
And that like, to be honest, I guess that was always behind closed doors, that this was the way that he acted. But now that it comes to the light, because the truth always comes to the light, I'm honestly not even a fan of him anymore because you know, back in his days with the Cardinals, he was a great manager, but you never knew what was going on. But now it's serious that there's some players that really wouldn't even play for him. Now it's just like, all right, you're a Hall of Famer, you did your thing, but
there is.
I go with character. Like, your character is more important to me than your numbers.
And the biggest thing in the clubhouse is chemistry, how the manager and the players can coexist. Exactly.
Correct.
Which was a big thing with Alex Cora coming back to the Red Sox, is the way he brings the locker room together. And I think Tony was the exact opposite of that.
The exact opposite. And there is...
Going to what he's saying, like, Alex Cora with the Red Sox, which is why I feel like Terry Francona, but he's dealing with some health issues, which is why he couldn't finish this year managing. But that's why he's always been good wherever he's gone, Cleveland and Boston. He knows how. He's a player, so he's a former player, so he knows how to deal with guys.
We have to understand that there is racism that goes around the game. There are players that are racist as well, because when the whole Black Lives Matter movement was going around, we saw posts of various players. I can't remember the names exactly. How they were demoralizing the effects that were going around that were happening to black people. Oh, you know, like, you know, I've been an American my whole life. You got to toughen up because you haven't been the only one that's going through bad times in their life and stuff like that. Like, there's a lot of things that need to be addressed, and managers are the forefront of the team. And there's some managers that, quote unquote, are racist as well. So we have to take into consideration what's going on in the game, and this ties into something else that because managers have a lot to say when the team is gonna sign a player or not. They want to construct a team to win, right? So in giving out contracts to these also minority players that are aging, they just second hand them, you know? They offer them the minimal contract, or they bounce them from team to team, leaving the player in disparity and like wanting to quit the game. I was seeing a lot of lives this offseason with Jose Reyes and Edwin Encarnacion, and Edwin Encarnacion was expressing how, you know, hey, he thought he was a veteran in the game where he deserved some type of respect. And you see how they're just bouncing him from team to team every year, like giving him that this is your only option type of thing. That's the game. That's the way the game is moving. So it needs to be addressed. And the way it should be addressed is as following. We have, in this side of town, Steve Cohen grew up a New Yorker, right?
From Great Neck.
Yes, there you
Shout
go.
out to Great Neck.
Facts. He buys the Mets for $2.4 billion, all in, optimistic, has no remorse in spending money. He wants to give his players, he wants to give the fans primarily a chance to see the Mets win the World Series. Guys, talking about this positivity for the Mets and positivity around baseball, how do you see this side of things? Like how this shifts the game? Steve Cohen.
Well, as a Mets fan, I think our years of suffering are over. No disrespect, nothing against Fred Wilpon, but that whole Wilpon family, they was just, I guess they was just stuck.
Get him out of here, bro.
They was just stuck.
Finally.
They were, yeah, finally, man. Like, God is good. So with Steve Cohen getting hired, being a fan and having that amount of money that he is as a successful businessman that he is, I feel like with that, he's gonna change the instead of like George Steinbrenner with the Yankees, where it was more serious business. This guy's gonna be business at hand, but you're gonna enjoy coming to the ballpark as a fan watching the Mets because it's gonna be from the head, him as an owner, the joy of him owning the team and showing the players that listen, you're loved here. Come to the Mets. The Mets. We care about you. We care about your family. We care about your dog. We care about your grandma, grandpa, everybody. And since he starts that relationship with the players, that's just gonna feed off into the community as well.
Right.
So everybody's gonna benefit. I was reading an article right now. This guy's been a fan since he was a kid. Went to the World Series in '69. He's a Mets fan through and through. And I'm just I'm happy and I'm optimistic for what the future holds for the Mets. I say they win the championship from now, 2023, because they have the talent, they got the pitching, coaching staff is coming together, the front office is coming together. He cleaned house, got rid of Van Wagenen.
Re-signed Alderson.
Yeah, I was surprised.
Made him the president of the team.
Wow.
Which is a promotion. But yeah, man, it's a work in progress, but we can see the light at the end of the tunnel, which is good. So, I mean, I hope more owners can learn from this guy, and maybe baseball becomes, the sport that it really is, which is a joyous sport.
You know who he reminds me of?
Who?
Mark Cuban.
Oh, hell yeah.
Okay, yes.
But in a more like humble way, because Mark Cuban is
eccentric. But I think
you're not gonna see Steve Cohen at every Mets game talking about let's go. No.
I think Steve Cohen is a breath of fresh air that MLB needs.
Yes. Yes.
Usually you don't see owners in the spotlight. What caught my eye though, what I like about this guy is the very first thing he did after he bought the Mets, he took to Twitter and he said, "How can I make the Mets, the stadium, and Queens itself a better atmosphere for fans?" And that caught my eye, because to come in to buy a team, to not worry about spending money. He said he's not worried about losing money. He's not here to make money. He's here to win.
He's here to win.
Here to see Mets fans be happy. And I think obviously it reflected. Marcus Stroman jumped right on it, accepted his qualifying offer.
Yes.
$18.9 million for 1 year.
He said that he's very excited to play for a guy like him. And then Noah Syndergaard tweeting, a gif of a guy running through a wall. I don't know what that means.
It's a very exciting time for the Met fans, for Queens to be exact, because it's about time. The Mets have been in the cusp every year of taking things to the next level. In 2015, as we saw, we were right there. We lost to the Kansas City Royals, but
that was a case of Kansas City coming back for the second year in a row.
Correct.
And they had the experience. They were literally outs away from winning the championship.
Steve Cohen, he's determined to spend money, which the Mets year by year lack on. They get these players who are on the decline of their career already and give them a 2-year deal. We need players that are going to revitalize the team, players that are...
We need superstars.
Correct.
Point blank.
For example, there's been talks this year that the Mets are trying to make a push for Lindor, George Springer. Those are some type of players that...
Trevor Bauer.
Big
names.
Those are some type of players that would change the whole dynamic in any team. And Cohen is committed to doing that, so we shall see. Syndergaard starts throwing off a mound, finally. We need our ace back. Well, our second ace. He will be in the forefront of that rotation with we have DeGrom, Stroman, Syndergaard,
Peterson,
and who's the fifth?
Lugo for now.
Okay, which is not bad.
But we don't know what can happen during the free agency during the offseason. So let's just wait. And the American League MVP is
Jose Abreu.
Damn.
Congratulations to Jose Abreu for the White Sox.
Jose Abreu. First baseman for the White Sox.
Wow.
Was a pivotal player on that team, helping get to the playoffs. He batted .317.
Wow.
19 home runs and 60 RBIs.
60
in 60 games, an RBI per game, as you can say.
Mr. Reliable.
Mr. Clutch.
This guy is a hitter through and through. First base is,
He's good.
he's all right.
It's not bad.
I think he's more than alright. He's pretty good.
Yeah. He
Low
can
glove
pick it.
level.
He can pick it. He can pick it.
All right. The numbers speak for themselves. Hit over 300, 19 home runs, 60 RBIs, an RBI game. That's a tough thing to do, especially in the American League. The pitching is far better than the National League, of course. And he like you said, took him to the playoffs, carried him at points of the season. And man, shout out to him, man.
I can definitely say that ever since he started with the Chicago White Sox, the Chicago White Sox did a very, very, very good job scouting him from Cuba.
He's probably the best Cuban player that's defected.
Arguably, yes, he is right now.
Yes.
I mean, because if you think about it, Cespedes fell off.
Mm-hmm.
Yasiel Puig.
He's a no-show. He's not even playing baseball.
We don't know what's going on with him.
Second best is probably this guy, first baseman for Houston, Gurriel.
Gurriel.
Yeah.
Uriel.
But Jose Abreu's been that one consistent player, Cuban.
Jose Abreu takes the crown away from Jose Ramirez. Jose Ramirez has been
Say that 3 times.
Dinger. Jose Ramirez has been in the talks of the MVP for the last 3 years,
Yeah.
and he still hasn't been able to get it. But that's fine. We have another Jose Abreu, first-time Cuban player for himself to win the MVP, and that's astonishing.
Yes.
I know
Now,
how Jose could win.
what happened?
I know how Jose could win.
How?
He got to come on the show.
Oh, hell yeah, of course.
Yes.
Of course.
Big
If he would have came on the
champions, big
show,
winners.
Beautiful segue. Willie came on the show, World Series. Come on, barrel up, man. Come on, barrel up.
you remember the fan? BarrelUp was here! BarrelUp was here!
And listen, I wish you guys could have been at the stadium. The atmosphere, again, I said in the video before, bro, bar none. It was just super lit.
It was the best.
Moving on from MVPs, we're going to the pitchers.
Cy Young Award.
Cy Young Award winners. It was a short season, but these guys put up numbers that were phenomenal.
Video game numbers.
Yes, legit. Video game on rookie mode, like MLB The Show. Shout out to ya. Trevor Bauer, National League, Cincinnati Reds.
The biggest trash talker, and it's not trash, factual talker. He is outspoken.
Yes.
He can back up the ish that he talks.
Conor McGregor of baseball.
Yes.
My favorite personality.
Facts. Facts.
Shout out to you, Trevor Bauer, man.
He has his own podcast.
Yes.
We're not going to talk about that here, though.
No, of course not.
The guy, he backed it up. Great numbers. ERA, I think 1.37, which is
Congratulations, man.
basically unhittable in the National League. He played, and you know what the crazy part of it is, he pitches in a hitter's ballpark. Great American Ballpark is anybody can hit it out of there. It's really small, and to him to put up those numbers, man, shout out to him. He did great. Deserves everything. He's a free agent, so he might get some good zeros added to that contract this year.
Oh no, he's gonna get a lot of money. We're gonna leave that for a future talk, but
Future talk, yep.
he's gonna get tremendous amount of money. If it's up to him, he said he wouldn't want to sign more than a 2-year contract, so he can maximize the money and the value.
Not gonna lie,
Smart
he needs
guy.
to secure that bag.
Oh, he secure the bag alert. That's gonna happen.
He needs to secure the bag. 5 years, take the max.
Nah. He's the type, he wants the most for 1 year. So he wants to beat
He
Garrett Cole.
wanted to get 35,
37.
37 around there for 1 year. Yeah, he was talking
He
about
wants
that.
that 30. He wants to compete. That's what I like about him is that he said he wouldn't sign long term because he wants to consistently compete and play for the best teams.
Okay.
One of the most consistent mechanics I've seen on a mound. The guy's a workhorse. He's a personality all around the game, and you have to respect him for what he's doing because he's He's given the players a voice, and his voice speaks for himself. He just won the Cy Young for the National League. Walking into free agency, that's just phenomenal.
Icing on cake.
Yeah, exactly. Cherry on top. And in the American League, the Cleveland Indians, this guy started off on a crazy start. Struck out like 23 batters in the first 2 starts, or what was it, 3 starts. Shane Bieber. Shout out to Shane Bieber. Cleveland Indians.
The best Bieber.
The best Bieber.
Not Justin.
Be a believer. So Shane, man, great numbers. Started off the gate.
Didn't he win it last year?
No.
Yes,
That was, I think, Corey Kluber.
No. Last year?
Last year.
We gotta reconcile on that.
Last year was Verlander.
Verlander last year? No, it was Bieber last year.
2019.
Let's look that up right now because
Verlander.
we gotta be factual here. Bieber.
Verlander.
Bieber.
I remember because he threw a no-hitter.
It's not gonna be none of them.
Let me see.
It's not even gonna be any of them.
Last year's
Justin Verlander
it was
of the Houston Astros. Darryl the Guru. That's why he's the guru.
El Guru. So yeah. Bieber.
Shout out to Bieber. AL Cy Young. Good pitcher. Great young pitcher. So the sky's the limit for him. He could be a DeGrom. Very dominant pitcher. Off speed. Great control. Works both sides of the plate. Splits the plate in half. Fastball is 90 plus. Yeah, his off-speed pitches are. Changeup is filthy. Curveball is filthy. Can locate, man. Like I said,
Does he
future's bright.
Does he stay on that team, Darryl? For the next 5 years?
5 years is a long time. For the next 2 years, hell yeah.
What if Lindor leaves? Because there's rumors that Lindor's gonna leave that team.
But I feel like if Lindor, now that we're going into Lindor, with Lindor, whoever he goes to or gets traded to, because he's under contracts for 1 more year, they're gonna get back great prospects.
Yeah, and the only reason he's going is because they can't afford to sign him long term. So I mean, rather get something instead of nothing. Kind of like the Red Sox situation with Mookie Betts.
Facts.
Exactly. So now we're moving on to managers of the year, which was, I think, the best category for me this year. Very deserving guys. And both from the state of Florida, both teams. We have Don Mattingly from the National League for the Miami Marlins. Big ups to Don Mattingly.
Yes, Don Mattingly went through a tough season with that COVID stint.
Yes.
Jesus Christ.
Mind you, a team that played like 3 games for like the first month of the year, and then it was straight doubleheaders every day.
Still made the playoffs.
But that's also, I think, a credit to why they played so well, because they were hot. So the momentum was always carried every day. They didn't have no downtime. Man, shout out to Don Mattingly. He's been through the worst. The years where they lost 100 games. And I mean, the future's bright in Miami, man.
He showed the fans that with any team it's possible to push a playoff run. Any team, whether you're a minor leaguer, major leaguer, if you have the desire to win, you can make it.
Yeah, man, it doesn't matter. It takes 25, man. Regardless of if you don't have a superstar, dude. It's just also if you get hot, man, you get hot. They could have got a little further if they had Starling Marte, but he had the hand injury. So, but hey, woulda, coulda, shoulda, it happened. He still got his recognition, National League Manager of the Year. On the American League side, we got, of course, questionable, man. We were there Game 6. We do not know. Still don't know why. Blake Snell.
How you gonna take him out the? Keep going.
It's Game 6.
How you gonna take him out the game, bro? How you gonna do that, bro?
It's do or die. What I told you at the stadium, bro. I told you he's going to the gas tank is on E, like 100 plus pitches.
Yes.
And Outsider, that was one of Outsider's biggest things that he said on MLB Network that night. He got Game 5 against the Yankees back in 2000. Bobby Valentine pushed him to 145 pitches because that was his best option to win that game that night.
We're talking about Kevin Cash. Kevin Cash from the Tampa Bay Rays.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
But you fumbled the bag.
He said.
You blew the game. Blake Snell, Mookie Betts had striking out twice, and then you take him out. But that's another. We'll talk about that. We'll dissect that down the road. But yeah, man, congratulations to him. Best record in the American League, 40-20. Team was phenomenal, great talent for the future. Willie Adames, shout out to Willie. We got Joey Wendell. Randy Rosarena is spectacular. Who else we got? Man, the team's stacked. Great pitching. And
Not gonna lie, Kevin Cash did a great job getting them, and the players obviously with their efforts, getting to where they got. You know, I thought they were gonna solidify the deal. They didn't do it, but props to Kevin Cash. Will you be the manager of that team? I don't think so.
I think so. I mean,
for the next years to come, after that move,
the dude's playing chess when everybody else is playing checkers.
There you go.
That last move didn't work out.
Jaque mate.
He overthought.
Checkmate.
That's legit what overthinking looks like, people. If you don't have an idea, that's what overthinking looks like. You
Trying to
gotta
outsmart a situation where you just,
well, you don't need it.
Yeah.
Just go with the flow. Let it ride, man. Ride it. But
Snell should have done the Mussina. Remember Mussina with the Yankees? When
Said
Torrey tried to take him out, he said, "Stay there. No, give me the ball."
I got this. But shout out to both the managers, both for the organizations, man. We're looking forward to see what happens next year. Organization. Wow. Final category. American League and National League Rookie of the Years. We have the American League. This guy is a speedster, great bat, athletic, a lot of athleticism. Kyle Lewis of the Seattle Mariners.
The future is bright for the Seattle Mariners.
Shout out to him, big ups. The kid, man, came out the gate running, just storming, man. Took baseball by surprise in a sense. He doesn't hit for power, but he's a good contact hitter. Gets the ball in play. In the outfield, this guy closes gaps at a rate that is like very impressive. Is impressive? That's
Impressive.
impressive. I'm sorry. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Very impressive. And shout out to him. And future's bright. In the National League, I wanted to see Alec Bohm from the Phillies, but Devin Williams, a reliever for the Milwaukee Brewers, got the call for Rookie of the Year. So shout out to him. This man, I think allowed 1 run, maybe the entire 60 games. He only pitched like 22 games.
I think it's hard to win the Rookie of the Year
As a
pitcher.
reliever, yes.
As a reliever.
As a reliever
that.
at that, yeah, exactly.
Jesus Christ.
Exactly.
Amazing job.
So yeah, those are the awards for this year, man. Short season. Everybody's deserving, no matter what. You can put an asterisk. I mean, the guru, he really thinks I don't go for that. And
I don't know, especially if Mookie Betts won what he won. You know what I'm saying?
You guys,
well, he did it, so it doesn't count.
I mean,
He won the MVP. He was a pivotal piece in that game when he hit that home run to solidify that win.
They traded for a game changer. They got a game
He's
changer.
a game changer.
he was
That's
a
the
missing
word.
piece.
He flipped that franchise, man.
He's gonna be there for a while, guys. With that being said, we want to thank you for tuning into this episode. Subscribe to the YouTube channel BarrelUp Podcast on YouTube. Follow us on Instagram BarrelUp_baseball, and also on Twitter BarrelUp Podcast/baseball. Don't forget, whoever wants to be a baseball player and play college or play pros, we do offer the services of BarrelUp Baseball training, development. Follow us. I'm going to put the flyer up here so you guys can see it. And also, thank you. Thank you guys for tuning in. And we'll be back next week for another exciting episode as we have exciting content to give you guys.
Next week, we'll be talking about Dominican Baseball League. A lot of superstar, big name players are playing this year due to the fact that there was a 60-game season. So right now, players are in mid-season form. So big news we got for you guys next week. Just keep subscribing, hit the subscribe button. Man, just spread the word, man. Spread the word. Thank you for the support. Thank you guys.
You already know, man.
Finalizar mi trayectoria en Santiago de los Caballeros, estoy con nada más y nada menos que el rey de hit, Luis Colono. Muchas gracias por darme la oportunidad.
BarrelUp podcast was here.
Tenemos un gran contenido con un pilar de béisbol, Domingo Leiva, segunda base de las grandes ligas de Arizona Diamondbacks. Mi hermano, ¿cómo te sientes? Tranquilo, manito, hasta ayer, ¿sabes?
BarrelUp podcast was here.
Ese es mi compañero Darrell. Bienvenido a BarrelUp Podcast. Gracias por
BarrelUp podcast was here.
mi hermano Willie Adames.
¿Qué lo que, brother? ¿Qué lo que? Dime a ver,
Siento,
bro.
bro.
Todo bien, ¿y tú cómo tú estás?
BarrelUp podcast was here. We were here. You need to be here. History was made tonight. Where were you?